Hello and welcome to BonBonB's new style What Map for City Skylines. There are over 23,000 maps on the workshop now, and so choosing the right one for your new city is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday's What Map. And now don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, now's the time to do so, because we want to reach 500 subscribers by the 2nd of June, which is the channel's 2nd anniversary. And today's map is Spearfish by theecreativemoose. Now this is a request. You know those people that say, "Here, could you have a look at my map?" And I go, "If I get a chance, I will." Well, here's the chance. And the map looks quite rugged from up here. The resources seems simple, shall we say? Hopefully that's not a sign for the whole map. Right, so there we are. The map fairly flat and level by the looks of it. Lots of trees. Roads are a bit windy there, moving about from side to side. Let's have a check of this first bridge. Oh, this isn't a good sign. It's a simple bridge to do, that one, and a bump at the beginning. Is this one of those maps that flatters to deceive, maybe? Now, we're going to concentrate on this road a lot. First of all, we'll check the start square. We've got two options here. We can go to the left, by that inlet there, and to the right, into the massive build plane, huge build planes. Now the reason why we're going to concentrate on this road a lot is because there are no rail connections and no air connections. So what we'll do is we'll go off to the distance and we'll possibly have an early asset review. And check out the David Stott building by Khrysler. Now this is an Art Deco building of, I think it was the, just before the early 1920s. It was 1917, I think, from memory. And it's quite nice. I apologise for the cinematics there. It was bouncing in and out for some reason. You know, you tell it where to go and the camera just does its own thing. But yes, it's obviously looming over Assetville. You notice Assetville's spawned a little bit bigger, but that's because it wouldn't allow me to have such a majestic building with just a small little hamlet. So we've grown to allow for the bigger buildings. So anyway, yes, the David Stott building by Khrysler. It's quite nice, very nicely modelled, and there you are. That's today's asset. Now let's head back to Spearfish. Now, not only is there no rail connection and no air connection, there's also no sea connections. Oh dear, it's not looking good. But I'll tell you what is looking good. Okay, we've been negative so far. I like the riverbanks. In fact, the river modelling here is better than many. Although the river is quite straight, to be fair. Let's pop over to this side. Oh yeah, a little bit of rugged water here and slightly flooded tree, but it's acceptable. If that was the only problem with the map, I could let it go. There's a couple of other flooded trees over there as well on the other side. You probably saw. Now I'll come over to this side. This is nice modelling over here. I'm quite happy with this, quite rugged. And I also like that there is no trees over here, because quite often vegetation on these sort of areas is mossy or just basically it's quite sparse. It would have been nice to see one or two things possibly, but that's not too bad. Now next thing we'll look at, before we go down the rest of the river, is this inlet. Well, we've got quite a lot of water coming down here. Just short of a waterfall. There's a lot of water pouring in from there. Loads of water. Gallons of water. Good grief, so much water. But where's it going to? Because this is quite a small inlet. That is not realistic. That makes no sense. And if you're going to stick your sewage, well, crikey, that's going to be quite heavily polluted in no time at all. Oh, let's scurry on along the river. So, Mighty Moose, I hope you're listening to this critique so you can work on your next map and add a little bit more realism and correct a couple of these early mistakes. Lots more drowned trees there as well. These trees aren't drowned, those are a huge build plane. There's a lot of places to build. Which is, of course, isn't a difficult thing to do. You just build a big flat map and stick a river in it. And you could argue that's what the Mighty Moose has done here. But I would say there is undulation in the terrain. It's not entirely flat. Up here, these hills are good. These hills are, yeah, I can believe these. They're realistic enough. And you could just about build on these as well if you wanted to do something a little bit raised up, away from the floodplains. So anyway, let's give this map some scores, shall we? Do you think? Well, aesthetically, it's not super ugly. It's just not super clever. So I'm going to give that 3 stars there. Detailing, well, other than liking the riverbanks, which I can push it up to a 2, there's not really much else to say. And gameplay potential, well, connections, there really aren't any. There's a big build plane. 2 stars for the big build plane? Just about. I mean, struggling other than that. Anyway, that's about it from Spearfish. I'm sorry I couldn't upgrade you more than that, Mighty Moose, but hopefully you'll learn from this experience and provide us with a much more exciting map next time round. Speaking of exciting maps, there'll be one along tomorrow, so if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe and notification button now, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, see you then.